Good morrow to thee, fellow YouTube goers. I trust you're keeping well. I'm speaking all ye olde right now. I don't know why, it isn't scary or anything. But anyhow, Halloween. We're talking about Halloween right now. I have no idea where such an outlandish holiday could have originated from, but hey, it's as good enough an excuse as any to get together, dress up like idiots and have a good time. Or to spend an enormous amount of money on a full Castlevania cosplay only for it to arrive late for Halloween anyway. Seriously, what motivates people to cosplay, I swear. Anyway, in the spirit of the season, I'm gonna look at video games some more. Games can succeed in being genuinely haunting, whether the game is intentionally horror-oriented or not, with good use of atmosphere, visuals, and music. Or just having something jump in your face. But, on the other side of the coin, there are those that don't do anything like that. Far better to throw a barrel of cliched horror festivities into a blender and have a crazy good time about it. Such is the Halloween way. And so this video is my way of honoring such instances, counting down what I believe to be the best festively creepy chiptunes in Halloween-themed levels. The only problem is, instead of letting you listen to the awesome music, I'll be gracing your eardrums with my irritating voice, commenting on it for most of the time. But don't worry, I'll give you a link to the full track each time I introduce a new one. And for the sake of at least a little variety, I'll be allowing only one entry per each franchise. So then, there is much trick-or-treating to be done, let us be on our way. No, not doing that. Let's go. Yeah, I'll admit the whole iconic and nostalgic thing is being played up pretty high on this entry, and I'd be lying if I said that didn't at least contribute to it being here. I mean, it's ghouls and ghosts, or at least one of them. This game gets a free ticket to just about anything spooksome in video games. But hey, the way I see it, Haunted Graveyard wouldn't be iconic or nostalgic if it couldn't stand on its own merits. I really like 16-bit music. It's capable of a much bigger variety of sound than 8-bit stuff, yet you still have to do some guesswork as to the type of real-world instrument all those electronic bleeps and bloops are trying to emulate. But I'm pretty confident this song is rocking the 16-bit spooky pipe organ harder than any song can claim to. And like most 8-bit, 16-bit pieces, it makes for an incurably catchy chiptune. Not much else to say about this one, it's fitting and memorable. Only thing is that iconic status can only get you so far. There are just better pieces to come. Hello again, awesome 16-bit music. Although in typical Mega Man fashion, this piece differs from Ghouls'n in that it's much faster paced and much catchier. We got heart-pounding percussion, eerie whistles in the background, and an indeterminable 16-bit instrument. I don't know what that is, it just sounds awesome. This song certainly has the slightly goofy side of Halloween down. I mean, one look at Shade Man's design will give you an idea how straight the horror theme is being played here. About as serious as Adam Sandler doing a very unconvincing Gru impression.
I don't say blah blah blah.
And like any Mega Man theme worth its bits, it won't be leaving your head for a while. Overall, this song's just a lot of fun. Just to muddy the water a little bit, here's a piece that could actually be considered scary. I can guarantee if I were a kid growing up in the 90s, this sort of thing would have me wetting my pants quicker than that piano would have. However, this song ends up being a bit of an odd case. It almost feels like two completely different songs. The first part is where the heavy stuff happens. There are no light-hearted scares here. I mean, you enter this place for the first time and you're greeted with that eerily enchanting piano, joined by some atmospheric strings before a slow, ominous pipe organ takes over, along with some of those jarringly dissonant twinkly noises. I don't know what those actually are, I don't do music. And all the while you've got the wind howling in the background and that menacing, disembodied laugh. Clearly Rare didn't have any conflicted feelings about giving their consumer base nightmares. I mean, if Nuts and Bolts is any indication. Yeah. And then it stops. About a minute in it just stops. To say what we're left with isn't quite as serious is a bit of an understatement. He even starts using that little bit. And garnishes with some groovy rhythmic clicks. Groovy? What? How else would you describe it? Besides, this is 90s stuff. They said that back then, right? Either way, this bit's a lot more in the spirit of the season. It's kind of fun and reminds me a lot of a Banjo-Kazooie piece. Can't think why or anything. So this song manages to include both scary and not in the same piece, and do both pretty well. The only problem is they don't mash particularly well. Like I was gonna do a Halloween themed video without mentioning Castlevania. It can't be done. I mean, the franchise has practically built itself entirely around twisted, foolish imagery and gothic sounding buzzwords. I mean, Aria of Sorrow, Lament of Innocence, Harmony of Dissonance. Do you even know what that means, or are you just ripping off album titles? At least the first couple of games were able to back that up. I mean, they were basically akin to torture, whether by being gonad-crushingly hard or just being constant grinding. But no matter what game you happen to be playing, you know things are about to get even rougher as soon as Bloody Tears gets started. I've listened to just about every version I've thought to look for, and the best version to my mind at least, is the one from Rondo of Blood. Bloody Tears is awesome usually, but mash away on a pipe organ for a bit and it gets right into the spirit of things. Seriously, this sounds incredible. And when that's not going on, we got the main melody of the piece being played by whatever distorted thingy that is. I can't really tell. Be nice, this game's probably older than I am. And it's accompanied by some equally distorted trumpets, some voices, and that sick percussion going on. Sick? Whatever, just listen. Pure heart-pounding awesome right there. The piece is pretty short, but then so is the original, and it's split just about equally between that fast-paced main piece and that ridiculous organ, and the result is nothing short of amazing. I guess simple turned out to be best this time. Better luck next time, Symphony of the Night. Symphony of the Night. Life is like a hurricane, which is Diamond's Scottish skinflints. Please welcome DuckTales Remastered. Okay, that wasn't as cool as I envisioned it. Yeah, something with a name like DuckTales doesn't seem to be at home on such a list. Or at least that's what you would think if you were somehow unaware of how legendary this game truly is. And at the forefront of its celebrated status is its music. The 8-bit songs are all great, that's for sure, but they really went all out when remixing them for the most recent remake. And I think some turned out even better. Case in point, Transylvania. The moment this music starts up, you know you're in for a really good time. Admittedly, this music doesn't play with the traditional spooky-ish instrumentation as much as some of the other entries so far, but I don't think it really needs to. DuckTales goes to a haunted house packing pounding percussion, slightly distorted guitar riffs, and all sorts of electronic oddities, before suddenly taking an unprecedented step into dubstep territory, complete with a whole load of wubs and a brilliant guitar solo. And your protagonist's a duck. I say it doesn't play with spooky instruments as much, but I think it does so enough. apart from the awesome but vaguely uncanny electronics, we have an organ playing in the background while the guitar's going on, and there's creepy violins at a few intervals in the piece. And of course, like every other song in the DuckTales soundtrack, I can't for the life of me sit still while listening to it. This, to my mind, would be perfectly suited for any Halloween party you'd care to attend. But what can I say? It's a brilliant song in a game full of brilliant songs, remixed from a game full of older brilliant songs. There was no way Mr. McD was missing this part. Did you see that coming? I don't think you did. Right out of left field comes one of the best official video game remixes I think I've ever heard. We all know Smash Bros is awesome for compiling a whole bunch of video game characters and making them fight, but you also have to love it for compiling a whole bunch of video game music and playing them over video game characters fighting. And if you're lucky, they'll make a battle-ready remixed version while they're about it. So, what iconic piece of video game music do they think would be best suited to play in a stage like Luigi's Mansion? Tetris, what else? Oh, but those iconic bleeps and bloops are long gone, and in their place is an entire orchestra of stereotypically spooky instruments. The harmonious strings in the back there, the grandiose brass instruments, a chilling piano piece, those ghostly whistles, a violin solo, and the voices. Oh man, the voices. This theme is seriously the complete package. It's a non-stop barrage of instruments, glorious in its composition and genuinely spine-chilling at times. It's just awesome. And it's Tetris. This is Tetris of all things. Sure, the remix of Luigi's Mansion is really good, but anyone who can make this boring little game and appealing little chiptune into a full-on Halloween-worthy menagerie of instrumental scariness needs to be paid a whole lot more respect. Sure, someone on the internet can make a remix of whatever, but it's just so cool to see stuff like this done in an official video game. In fact, I'm gonna find out right now. Who did this? Give me a minute. Okay, here it is. Composer... Russian folk track. I don't know what that is. I was expecting a guy's name. Oh hey, Yoko was in on this. Well, I guess that explains why it's so good. Pretty sure this must be a fan favorite pick for this sort of thing, at least among those who know about it. Sonic games have always had good music, there can at least be no doubt on that front. Even in some of the worst games in the franchise, of which Sonic has had an uncanny amount of, the soundtrack at least is perfectly serviceable, bringing me slightly clumsily to Sonic Heroes. It's for the most part a half-decent game, especially when you consider how experimental they were being gameplay-wise, but things really start getting interesting when you step into the warped reality of Mystic Mansion. And if the whole aesthetic of the place isn't appealing enough with the macabre decor and inverting gravity multiple times, we have the music to catapult this place to the heights of Sonic Team's best. We start out with an awesome pounding beat and the main melody being done entirely by those creepy whistles, and then boom, we have guitars, we have eerie distorted electronics, combined with massive church bells for some reason. It makes for a pretty remarkable contrast, that's for sure. The majority of Sonic songs are pretty fast, I mean they've got to keep up with how fast the main character is going, but this song is taking its sweet time.
setting a fatally catching rhythm and demanding you stick to it. Seriously, we have yet another track that would be at home in any and every Halloween party right here. And the weird thing about it is the distorted electro weirdness is seriously complementing the more outright trippy sections of the level. This level is a truly unique experience, and I know I haven't been judging music with reference to level design half as much as I should, but it's unavoidable here. There's just so much good stuff going on here. Seriously, would you dance to this? I'd dance to this.
Dude, you never dance.
Maybe not right away. Did you see that coming? Yeah, you should have. We've already had Banjo-Kazooie, but not really. So here we have Mad Monster Mansion, a fan favorite if ever there was one. I reckon a major reason for so many people loving Banjo-Kazooie so much is that with overwhelming nostalgia in effect or not, it undeniably has a unique and thoroughly charming feel to it. And big reason number 3, after appealing art style and amusing writing, is of course music, which is what makes Mad Monster Mansion shine so much. It's showcasing not just the Halloween style composition we've seen so far, but blending it with Banjo-Kazooie musical staples. This theme uses similar instruments to other Banjo themes. Strings making a bouncy bass line, a piece from a xylophone, all those funny different horns, or what is that? I'll assume that's a kazoo or something. It's in the title, so... what, that's a kazoo? Seriously? Never mind then. And also, like a true blue banjo theme, it incorporates sound effects into the music. This one fittingly including howling wind, howling wolves, and owls and the like, playing up a sort of haunted forest theme. And on the Halloweeny side of things, we have some organ and some creepy whistly noises. And they even include that bit. On a xylophone, no less. How much of a flawless combination of styles can you get? It manages to be somewhat unsettling, but with Banjo-Kazooie's light-hearted charm at the same time. Like the music's saying, we're just messing with you, let's have some fun with this. And the result is like an Alice in Wonderland X Nightmare Before Christmas that's about as in line with the Halloween spirit as I'd imagine you can get. And it's no surprise this game sounds a bit like Creepy Castle. I mean, both games are from WarWare and about the same time period. In fact, they were probably composed by the same guy. Yeah, guy called Grant Kirkhope. Good work, guy. Best of luck on ukulele. Wario Land Shake It. I have quite a history with this one. It was the first game I ever 100% completed for one, and one of the first games that had me fawning over everything to do with its presentation. But serious, this game has style. The art style is appealing, all the backgrounds look amazing, the level design clever, and the soundtrack is just jazzing.
Now you're going for jazzing.
I'm sticking to this one. The majority of level themes in this game are very upbeat and slightly goofy, like a big damn 80s style funk fest, with a hint of setting suiting style to be seen depending on the level. So it's kind of interesting to see that Bad Manners music plays the whole atmospherically creepy thing kinda straight. I mean, just listen to those strings. It's like every variation of the instrument is coming together to try and set you on edge, in a game whose edge was basically non-existent up until this point. They've even got an unfittingly beautiful sounding harp, and a little help from that eerily twinkly percussion I was talking about, trumpet sounding things in the background, and a well placed, what sounds like a snake charming thing. And somehow Wario Land Shake It's sense of style's not lost in this piece, oh no. The music sounds genuinely creepy, but sort of suavely creepy, like you're taking a stroll through Manny Calavera's private casino after hours. I think it's something about how slow the tempo of the song is, alongside the abundance of strings, that makes me feel a touch of classiness about it. All I know is that the whole lot gives me the best kind of chills, because it's creepy and sort of elegant in its own way. And to think, this isn't even the whole story. shake the little tingle spawn out of its cage and a timer starts up. And after that things start changing dramatically. The music isn't taking its time anymore, gone is any semblance of sophistication, and instead it's naught but a high-speed barrage of piano, trumpets, and even some menacing voices. And those strings aren't stylishly creepy anymore. They sound outright desperate as you race your way out as fast as you can, hoping against hope you can finally beat that accursed time limit challenge, and every single instrument is telling you that you can't escape. So yeah, pretty well suited for the situation at hand, and saturated in spooky musical tropes as well. To be totally honest, I can't bring myself to put one of these songs before the other, but they're played in the same level, so it's probably fine. And because I'm limiting myself to one per franchise, that does mean a whole load of perfectly good songs from the Mario franchise have taken a back seat in favor of this. To which I say, sorry, but I'm not sorry. I love this game too much to be sorry. Happy Halloween, suckers. Pac-Man World 2, huh? Well, we've already had Spooky Tetris and a dubstepping duck, and I guess Pac-Man's technically famous for its ghosts, so it's not that ridiculous of an idea, right? Pac-Man World 2 is an okay game, I guess, but there are a whole load of 3D platformers from around that time, so you're probably not missing out on too much if you don't know it. So it's a good thing this music came to my attention at all. This is one of the most fast-paced tracks thus far, and it could even be considered genuinely scary in places. And the level itself is really helping with this. The music is rightfully frantic as you're forced to race along this dimly lit level along a single route as it literally crumbles behind you. You've got to keep moving. The heart-pounding sort of Halloween song hasn't been exploited quite as well anywhere else as I reckon it has here. Bad Manor did frantic and fast pretty well, but this? Sounds like the percussion's having heart palpitations. Rightly so too, there are plenty of close calls to be had in this place. And on top of that, the horns just keep building and building, while the violin remains oddly serene. It's a contrast capable of setting anybody on edge. They've even got those spooky whistles delivering part of the melody. And the beat? Those drums are just relentless. It's uncannily perfect for your situation. Festive themes are in there in part, but the rest is a frantic bombardment of sound enough to instill panic and exhilaration as the entire level chases you down. This song manages what Creepy Castle didn't, and the likes of Bad Manor and Mad Monster Mansion did, but better, making a song both appealing and haunting without losing stride. The blend is almost seamless, and taking into account just how much it's complementing the level it's put in, I think I have just enough justification to put this one ahead of the rest. This has been the Noob of Hearts. I may be a noob about technical music terms, but I know awesome stuff when I hear it. And I've just gone and called something related to Pac-Man scary. Everybody, good night.